The goblins are always surprised to find the woods deserted, but they never think of changing their hunting night to say Thursdays, thus catching everyone unawares. That's how stupid they are. Of course, you could forgive them stupidity if they weren't so generally all-round horrible. After the fertile hunt, goblins always have a party. The party is always a flop, because they never have anything to eat, and invariably ends with a big fight. Goblins like fighting. It goes with their stupidity, but the Tuesday night punch-up has now developed into a goblin tradition. It's a silly one, but then all the traditions are silly. Here are a few more, just to give you the idea. Painting their traps bright red, bellowing loud hunting songs while walking on tiptoe, stomping around in broad daylight with their faces smeared on soot, so they won't be noticed. Wearing bobble hats even in a heat wave to stop the brains freezing up. Cutting the traditional hole in the bottom of the hunting bag so whatever goes in immediately falls out again. Right, that's enough about goblins in general. Let's now get back to the gaggle in the cave next door to Pongwiffy. All goblins are great music lovers, and Pongwiffy's new neighbours were no exception. They kept her awake at all hours, playing ghastly goblin music at very high volume. Goblin music sounds rather like a combination of cats trapped in a box, burglar alarms, and a dustbin lid blowing down the road, so you can see what she had to put up with. It was the most unfortunate, then, that the gaggle next door chose the very night that Pongwiffy was entertaining Sharkadder to supper to hold the official cave warming party. Just take a look at the following. 7 goblins make a gaggle, 3 gagglings make a broad, 2 broads make a tribe, 1 tribe makes life unbearable. The gaggle next door had invited no less than 2 entire tribes to their cave warming, and that, if you can't work it out for yourself, is 84 goblins. They all arrived at the same time, singing, "Can you imagine? 100 goblins hobbling in a line. One got stuck in a bog, me boys. Then there was 99. They howled joyfully, pouring into the cave. Next door, Sharkadder leapt from the cardboard box, sent the plate of skunk stew crashing to the floor. "My new neighbours," explained Pongwiffy, scooping the split stew on her plate. "I'll eat this if you don't want to." 99 squalling goblins hobbling out to skate. One went under the ice, me boys, and there was 98. Wailed the goblins relentlessly, stomping round in their hobline boots and beating their warty heads against the wall. A small avalanche of stones rained down on Sharkadder's new hairdo. A large, spreading crack indicated that the ceiling was about to fall in. Stop them making that dreadful noise," howled Sharkadder, trying in vain to protect the culls. 98 squabbling goblins holding down to Devon. One got chased by 4, my boys, and there was 97, droned on the goblins. And Pongwiffy's favourite poison plant keeled over and died on the spot. Then the ceiling did fall in. There was a groaning, grinding noise, and down it came with a huge crash, burying both Pongwiffy and Sharkadder under several tons of rubble. Luckily, they're witches, and witches are tough. "Sharky, where are you? Are you all right?" called Pongwiffy, crawling out from under a huge slab of granite and peering through the mark of the following boulders littering the floor. There was a moment's silence. Then the overturned cauldron gave a heave, and Sharkadder emerged, shaking in fury and covered from head to toe in skunk stew. "Oh dear," said Pongwiffy. "Sorry about that. I'm never speaking to you again, Pongwiffy, hissed Sharkadder, and she ran, weeping from the cave. 90 bucks coming out today! Pongwiffy picked her way through the rubble and staggered, gasping for air. She was just in time to see Sharkadder mount her broomstick, which was saddled outside, and zoomed off, splattering the treetops with skunk stew and screaming shocking curses. Pongwiffy's own broom was propped where she had left it, fast asleep as usual. One got choked by Crumbly boys, and there was 93. Pongwiffy marched up to the goblin's front door, which was, to be exact, their front boulder, and rapped sharply. There was a sudden pause, followed by muffled mutters of, "Fix that, Uncle Slobbergum. No, he's already here. Where in the soup he just fell in? See who it is, Dinkwart. Where's Pug Ugly? Answering the boulders his jobs," and so on. Finally, the boulder rolled back, and Pongwiffy found herself staring into the repulsive, lumpy contents of Plug Ugly, the biggest goblin. "Yeah," he growled, scratching unpleasantly and glaring at Pongwiffy with small, red, piggy eyes. How many more verses to that wretched song?" demanded Pongwiffy in a shrill voice. Plug Ugly thought deeply, his brow creased in concentration. Maths wasn't his strong point. "Wait there," he said, and vanished to confer with the others inside. Pongwiffy tapped her foot impatiently while the whispered arguments went on, and grimly fingered the wand which hung on the dirty string around her neck. Eventually, Plug Ugly returned. 92, he said. "Yeah." "Over my dead body," Pongwiffy said. "If you like," Plug Ugly said. "Do you realize," snapped Pongwiffy in a firmest, no-nonsense voice, "do you realize that you have brought my ceiling down? You've quite ruined my supper party. You've upset my stew, not to mention my best friend. I haven't slept a wink for days, not since you moved in. Every night I have to listen to your cat wailing. That's a limit to my patience. Who do you think you are anyway?" "Goblins," said Plug Ugly, with confidence that comes from having the body of a lobster, topped with a face like an old squeezed tea bag. "Goblin, that's what we is, but we what we likes." "Oh, you do you? And suppose I put a spell on all of you and banish you from this cave?" Pongwiffy produced this ace from her sleeve with an air of triumph. "Do it there," ordered Plug Ugly, and retreated inside, and Pongwiffy waited. After a few moments he returned. "You better come in," he said. It was grim and gloomy in the goblin's cave. The air was thick with dense smoke curling from the torches jammed into the crevice in the walls. There was an overpowering smell of goblin, which threatened to overwhelm even Pongwiffy's own personal odor. And that's not easy, as you would know if you ever stood downwind of her. Holding her nose, she peered around. 182 small red piggy eyes peered right back at her. Everywhere she looked, there were goblins. They sneered from the shadows and scoffed in the corners and gibbered and jeered in the gloom.